Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome to Rick's Corner. Today I have Kyle Martin, who trains down at Venice Goals, and he's a trainer on there. He does online training, and he has the old school mentality of training just like I have, and we're going to discuss it a little bit.
All right.
Kyle, thank you for coming over.
I'm so grateful to be here. I really appreciate it.
I'm grateful to be alive.
Me too. Me too.
You know, I do a lot of stuff on here about old school, and I get people who really like it. I get a lot of the older guys who really appreciate what it is and they know what it is, and then you get the younger guys that say, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I get tired of that.
Same.
I try to educate them, and they got their heads up their ass.
No.
And they talk about bro science, and I never knew what bro science was, so I looked it up. Do you know what it is?
I assume, I've heard it all the time, but it usually irritates me when I hear about it, so.
Yeah. I looked it up. Basically, it is gym talk from the guys that work out about sets and reps that work for them, and how it's just out of their head and they don't know what they're talking about. It's not backed up by anything scientific. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you back up a workout with weights, sets and reps scientific? You can't.
I know.
It's trial and error.
Exactly, experience.
And so that's what I said. The bro science, if it comes from me, if you want to call it that, that's 60 years of experience. Mm-hmm. And you learn from that. That's the history of what it is. And if I'm going to talk about it, I know what I'm saying, because, and I hope you'll agree with me, the body doesn't change over the past years, 100 years, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's the same body. It depends on how you work it and what you put into it.
Yeah.
In today's world, some of the younger guys say, oh no, that's way behind times the way you're training. It's just not what people do anymore. It got results.
Absolutely. It got the best results in my opinion.
Yeah.
The golden era is my favorite. That's what I personally got into when I was 17.
Yeah.
And I would look at the magazines and see Arnold and everybody training at Golds, and my eyes immediately went to that. I want to look like that. You know, the guys who train today look good, but
yeah.
I wanted to look like the guys from the golden era.
Yeah, I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the guys today that train do look good, and they do work hard, but the guys that are on top, I would say, are still using old school methods.
Yeah.
There's nothing secret about what they do. They do chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs, and they do 3 or 4 exercises, 3 or 4 sets, 4 or 5 sets, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. And just the experience too, because the reason I moved out here is I wanted to learn from you guys.
Yeah.
I wanted to come train with the Golden guys.
Where'd you come from?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I came here. I immediately got in touch with Rory Littermeyer. I got in touch with Samir Banut.
Yep.
And just learning from that experience and those old school principles is what really that's what I wanted to learn. You know, that's why.
It's, it boils down to basics, and I try to tell people that it's nothing complicated.
No.
It is what it is, and nowadays I see trainers in the gym with the balls and the ropes and all that, and I'm sure that has its effect as far as conditioning, but it's not bodybuilding.
It's not bodybuilding, no.
At all.
No.
I see them taking outside in the parking lot and do lunges with dumbbells or running back and forth. It's like, really?
No.
We never did that back in those days.
No. I'm all about results. It's what I want to look good in the mirror. That's why I like golden era bodybuilding. It's small waist, aesthetic physique.
Exactly, and it wasn't about the scale.
Exactly. I don't even know how much I weigh.
I weighed myself today. And I was up to about, a few years back, about 230, 235, and then I had a heart issue, and then I had pneumonia, I had congestive heart failure, then I had knee replacement, and so I dropped some weight, and then I got back into it, and now I'm at a weight I feel like comfortable with, at 213, from 225 probably. But when I was here in 69 and I was competing, I was 213. I'm the same weight I was in 1969, which is okay. I guess I could wear the same pants.
Oh, incredible.
But it's no big deal, because I don't want to go by the scale. I want to go by my age, especially how I look, and if I can stay lean and how I feel and the clothes fit fine, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and another thing about golden bodybuilding is all you guys look great still. You look at Robbie Robinson, he still trains at Gold's.
Yes.
I mean, he moves around in there like he's 18 years old.
I know he does.
And Rory Littermeyer, he's in his 60s.
Yes.
I mean, he looks incredible. He still's got over 20-inch arms. I mean, he looks good.
I think I had a great body.
Yeah.
Albert Beckles trains where I do. Do you remember Albert?
Oh, yeah. I want to meet him, too.
He's like 89 now.
Oh, wow.
And he had a couple of back surgeries, and he was really messed up for a year or two, and he's on a cane, and he can't really straighten up, but I saw him grab the other day the 80-pound dumbbells. Albert, what are you thinking? You know, you don't really need that, but he can do it, and it's amazing that he can do it. And when he had his surgery and he had all this done, he came to the gym and just sat up front at the bench for months, just sitting there for a couple of hours and leaving. He said that to him put him back in the frame of mind where he felt comfortable in the gym again, and he healed faster. Because there's no doubt in my mind that training and diet, if no matter what you have going on with you, will heal you up, make you better at who you are.
Yeah, it's made me healthy my whole life. I mean, I've always been in good condition and just health-wise.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you take a junk day?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it?
Of course, yeah. I usually take one day a week, like Saturday.
And what do you eat?
Usually pizza.
That's everybody's junk day. Well, why is it pizza? I'll take ice cream.
Or, yeah, well, I mean, I do that too.
Ken Waller used to have a junk day. He ate a whole gallon of ice cream. I mean, a whole gallon. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And back in those days, we always had a junk day. But today, I don't really take one anymore. I got kind of my fill of sugar.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't care for it. I'd rather have, I don't know, maybe sourdough bread with butter at dinner. But I guess it breaks the monotony of watching your diet all day long, and I get sick of eggs.
Oh, yeah.
But I eat them, and chicken. I know today I had steak and eggs, so there's a little bit variation. What's your diet like?
It's old school. I just eat chicken breast, rice, lean meats, lean carbs, and you know that's another thing too. People always want to like, what's the trick? What's the keto trick? But it's just about being persistent and consistent with just lean quality foods. You don't have to keep it, like you said, you don't have to make it complicated.
No, not at all.
No.
The thing with the carbs and the fats that people don't seem to understand, you don't have both together. I've gone on the thing where it's been all carbs and fish, and I've gone on the thing where it's all fats and fish. And one way or the other, I would lose weight. If I didn't have any fats, I would lose. If I didn't have any carbs, I would lose. But I think the fats were better for me.
No.
And they burn better.
No.
I mean, you can find all sorts of carbs in different types of foods, but if you don't need them, why eat them?
Right.
You know, I don't need the rice or the potatoes or the white bread and all that. It's just filler. And some people can't sit down at a meal without having it.
No.
How many days a week do you train?
Usually about 5 to 6 days. Always 5, but sometimes I just like being at the gym. I mean, I train at Gold's Venice, so I just enjoy being there. So I usually make it like 6 days.
Yeah.
But I really get it knocked out in about 5.
Do you take a day off in the middle and one at the end?
Yeah, usually. I like to train spontaneously, so I will move my off days around to wherever I feel like it. I like to train by how I feel.
Exactly.
So that's, if I need an off day, then I just take it.
How about body parts? Do you do one a workout or 2 body parts?
I usually like to do chest by itself, back by itself. I do arms together. I'll do shoulders on a day by itself and legs on a day by itself.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say you're going to do chest by itself. How many sets would you do?
Again, it goes by how I feel. My goal,
average.
Yeah, I would say like per exercise, probably about 4, maybe 5. I love high volume. I respond well to high volume.
Yeah, how many reps?
8 to 12, 12 to 15.
That many?
No.
I was thinking about that one day because I always do like 4 exercises, 4 sets, or 3 exercises, 5 sets, and I would always stop on the number 7. Not for any reason. I would do 7 reps and say, that feels pretty good. And I did this for a long time. And 7 reps gave me results.
Yeah.
Then I went to 12, and it was like, it's all right. I tried 20, and I went the other way. It kind of ate my muscle up. But I think the lower reps, for me, seemed to work the muscle, and then the diet gave me the cuts.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's you know, and diet is the most difficult thing for anybody. Now, the clients you train, do you have them on a diet?
Oh, yeah.
Do they stay with it?
The serious ones do. Yeah. But that's the hardest part. Yeah, I've been a trainer for over 10 years, and that's the hardest part with people is the diet. And they don't want to make the lifestyle changes and the habit changes that allows them to be consistent with the diet, you know.
No, it's just too difficult. And I used to say, if I sit down, I just sit down at a meal and I order, if I eat out, which I do a lot because I'm alone, I order what's conducive to what diet is, and it's not a big thing. I'll go out with somebody and I'll order something, and they'll order something totally opposite with fries and this and that. I said, why are you eating that? I don't know, I like it. Yeah, but that's not the key.
That's right, you got to eat with purpose.
If you're working out like I am and you want to get in shape, then you can't eat this all the time.
No.
And then they'll tell me they don't do it all the time, but you know damn well they do.
No. You can tell. The body doesn't lie, you can see.
So how do you like Venice Golds?
I love it. I love it. It's been my passion to move there and train there since I was a kid, since I was 16.
It's changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, I mean it's gone through like different variations. A lot of the older guys in there told me it's not as hardcore as it used to be.
Not close. It started out at 1006 Pacific.
Yeah.
You know where that building is?
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Okay. Well, that was it. It was a small cinder block building, and it had all the weights and nothing fancy, and a water fountain, and that was it. No. Joe never had any music. He didn't have any treadmills or any of that kind of stuff, but the weights were good weights. No. And he made really good equipment because he built it himself.
Yeah, it's all custom stuff.
All custom stuff. And it was conducive to training because all the champs trained there, and we all worked together, and it was like camaraderie, and we'd work in with each other and help each other, and there was no bullshit with headsets and cell phones and all that stuff that goes on today when they're in your way. And then when it moved over to 2nd Street, they sold it. It was next to the Pussycat Theater. I don't think you'll remember that.
Was that the Santa Monica one?
Yeah, I was there in Santa. Well, no, that was Gold's in Santa Monica on 2nd and Broadway, I believe. But then there was a World Gym on Main Street in Santa Monica. That came later.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
Okay,
yeah.
Joe Gold built that one in 1976. That's when I did the gorilla logo for him. He wanted his own gym back, and it was upstairs. And that gym had really good equipment. Same stuff he built before. No. So everybody from Gold's that was doing their workouts there that were loyal went to Gold's, went to World Gym with Joe. They followed him over there. No. And then Gold's had a few of the leftovers here and there, and then Joe moved to just off near Brooks and down the street from the Gold's Gym. Now he had a double-story building, a gymnastics building where he had World Gym. And then he moved it to Lincoln and Washington where it was an old Sizzler.
Yeah, it's a beer brewery now, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I went there to train, and it wasn't like the old days. It was just dead in there. But it's hard to find that type of feeling in the gym. I mean, I go to Gold's in North Hollywood. I like it. I get good workouts there. People are nice. There's a whole new breed of people in there. There's girls taking selfies of their butts.
Yeah, that's the hot thing right now, or bikini contests.
Yeah, and a lot of younger guys who dominate machines sitting on their cell phone. I went up to a guy one day and said, "Excuse me, how many sets of texting do you have left?" I'd really like to use this. Yeah. So he left. He said it kind of very stern. But some of them don't believe in working in with you, which is like wrong because you're in a gym and everybody's using everything.
We're there to train together, train hard.
Exactly. But Gold's now, where it is on Hampton, I've been over there several times, and I know a lot of people there, and a lot of the old timers who I used to know. Many have died, but the equipment's good.
Yeah. I think it's more of kind of a tourist attraction now. It's like kind of commercialized.
Yes, it is. I mean, the Pro Shop does well.
Yeah.
Big time. And there's a lot of people from other countries that come there.
All the time. Yeah. All the time, all over the world.
Well, this is what happened at the original Goals when Joe had it. Joe Weider, who was the godfather of bodybuilding, he had Muscle and Fitness and Flex and all those magazines that you read. He'd come down and do his photo shoots on Sunday of everybody. If we were there, we'd all be in the photo shoot. Then he'd put it in a magazine, and people from all over the world would read that and say, "Oh my God, Gold's Gym's the mecca of bodybuilding. I got to go there." They didn't realize this tiny little building. No. They'd all come through the back door like in crowds. They couldn't even get through. They're fighting.
Well, it's a little house now. I mean, I drive by and I'm like, I don't know how anybody was able to train there. It's so small.
Well, I've been in there since. Yeah. They remodeled it. It's got 2-3 floors. It's attached to a house next door. It's got all hardwood floors, stairwells. Wow. Modern furniture, modern walls. I mean, it looks like it's out of a design magazine. Wow. But nobody knows it because the outside says Gold's Gym.
Yeah, on the front there's not even any windows. It looks like a facility. It's just sealed off.
Beautiful home inside, like Beverly Hills. Wow. So someone had said to me, how come they didn't keep that and turn it into a museum for all the gold stuff? Mm-hmm. Well, I said the reason being, who's going to support it? You know, no one can support that.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive property. No one's going to come and pay to go look at something. It's like, what, a handful of people? No. So they didn't. But when you train people online, that's a whole other thing nowadays.
It's new, you know.
How do you get your clients?
It varies. I post a lot of content. I make a lot of videos, teaching, and things like that.
I've seen them.
Yeah. That's good.
That's you?
Yeah.
In person?
Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, I post them, and it's just more of an education thing. And then when I work with people one-on-one, we go into detail what specifically they need, you know.
And how do you monitor their results?
We check in every week, so I have documents, Google Documents that I can monitor what they're doing, and I have them check in, post all their weights and their sets that they're getting it done.
Yeah.
Keep them accountable.
Are they pretty happy with what's going on?
Yeah.
What's the longest you've kept on online like that?
Well, I recently transitioned into it probably like over the last year.
Yeah.
And I have clients that are still with me now.
Okay, cool. Because sometimes they run out of money.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they want to start and they don't have any money.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the passion too. If I see like a kid who's really motivated, like how I was when I first started, then I work with him, because that's what my coach did when I first started.
Yeah,
he knew I was going to be serious, so he'd work with me on it.
I've done that out here in my wrestling ring. I've had guys come to me, one in particular, and he had no money, and I trained him for quite a while, and then he went to WWE and became a champion.
Yeah, but you could see that. You saw that he had it. You know,
I saw he had it. Now he still has it. He's on tour.
That's awesome.
So that was kind of a nice feeling to be able to do that.
Yeah.
What's the oldest client you have?
Right now, probably 50s. I've trained people in their 70s before when I was in person.
Was it okay?
Yeah. She was strong. She was very tough. She used to be a competitive skier. She was from Norway, and she was very strong. She was doing walk-in lunges in her 70s.
I think some of the women are stronger than the guys.
Yeah.
I see girls in the gym over here in their 20s, and they're squatting like 225.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and low too. They're not cheating.
I mean, they're not cheating. They're hitting heavy weights. I can't do that anymore with my legs, but I get envious, so I won't talk to them.
You know, I had a question for you. Like, I know Mike Mincer and Ray Mincer. Did you talk to them? Were you friends with them?
Yeah. Because
I know that his whole training style was around the heavy duty, high intensity. Did you ever do that?
Yeah,
what did you think of it?
It's good for short term. Because after a couple of weeks, you just burn out.
Yeah.
We, when I was training with Arnold, we'd do shoulder presses up the line, down the line where you twist them, dumbbells.
Yeah.
And we start with 30s and go to 80s and go back down to 30s nonstop every 5 pounds. That was high intensity.
Wow.
And then we did the same thing with laterals. And by the time you went up and down 2 times and 2 times in the laterals, you were dead.
Wow.
But the delt results were perfect.
Yeah.
Until you get delt injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's when I first started. I used all of Arnold's methods. I read his books, and my body responded the best with his training style. That's what I've pretty much done.
You know, people say, "Oh, he must have trained 6 to 8 hours in the gym." I never knew him there more than an hour and a half, if that. And it wasn't anything complicated. It was bench presses, dumbbell inclines, or incline bar, cable crossovers, and dumbbell side flies, and maybe some dips, and that was it for chest.
Yeah, just put in the work.
Just put in the work. I mean, he made every rep count. I mean, everything was working the way it should. And then his arms, I don't think he was curling over 50-pound dumbbells, but he had a bicep that just was amazing.
No.
And his tricep too. I mean, he responded well to everything he did. Franco too, but Franco was strong as an ox.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, really strong.
Very strong.
Ken Waller was the same way. Frank Zane would up and down. Sometimes he'd be in really great shape, and sometimes you couldn't even tell. He'd get ready for a contest, and he'd get in shape real quick, and then after that, it would just go away. But he had a different way of doing it.
Would you think the weights back from Gold's, because I feel like the new commercial equipment that comes out, it doesn't hurt the same as the old school weights and the old school iron. I feel like they've just been kind of went down. Can you tell a difference? Or
are you talking about cable machines?
Cables, all of them. I mean, because there's some of them, you can do the machine and you can put the whole stack on there, and it doesn't actually hurt the muscle like the old equipment does in the old gyms.
I have a really good answer for that.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here's the situation. You know how transmission works?
Yeah.
It has pulley gear ratios. Well, if you look at the machines today, the cables, and they have pulleys you're working off, 1, 2, maybe 3 from the ground, whatever, they're different sizes. If they're big and small, or if they're big, it's a different ratio. If they're small, it's a different ratio. It's the difference between low gear and high gear. So when they're a certain gear ratio, they're much easier to use. So 60 pounds on one of these machines would be like, maybe, let's see, 60 pounds and there's light, it'd be like 20 pounds on another machine.
No.
So you have to use a lot more weight. But you're right, it does feel different.
And they bounce too. Even if you slow it down, there's just too much momentum playing.
Yeah. There's a curl machine in the gym that you can sit at and it's electrized. You just lean back and you do curls or alternate with it. And I see guys using that and they say, oh, it works great on the bicep. I tried it, doesn't work for me at all. I don't feel one thing out of that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Tricep pushdowns too. I mean, I did them today on a machine, and it's like, I didn't feel it. Maybe I'm too old.
I think it's the new equipment, because I like to go find old gyms, and they usually will have the older stuff, the old Nautilus equipment, and it hurts. Like I can feel it. It makes me so sore.
The Nautilus equipment's good.
No.
Now there used to be plate loaded when what's his name from Florida?
Arthur Jones.
Arthur Jones had it. It was plate loaded, and you're supposed to work till failure. Okay, we tried that. It wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was okay. And now today's Nautilus machines are selectorized.
Yeah.
There's a difference there.
Yeah, I can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell the difference. And the reason they have that cambered bar like that is supposed to keep consistent weight all the way up and all the way back. It's not supposed to deviate at all where it gets lighter and then heavier. And that was the reason behind it. But I still don't think you can beat dumbbells.
Yeah, free weights.
Yeah, free weights. If you can do free weights, you're going to get the most out of it. With injuries, it's difficult. I have a shoulder injury, I had a cortisone shot, I had knee replacement, I had torn quads, and all these little stupid things from wrestling. So now when I want to do free weights, it hurts. I try to do them, but I can go to a machine that almost get the same effect, because in your mind, if you tell your mind what your body's doing is the same as the free weight, you'll get the same feel out of it.
Interesting.
Your mind controls it.
Interesting.
If I'm going to do the hammer machine for pressing, for example, I'll just close my eyes and envision that I have dumbbells, and it'll feel like dumbbells because in my mind I think I'm doing them.
Wow, that mind-muscle connection
Totally.
makes a difference.
Yeah. I mean, I can be with the ugliest chick in the world, but if I close my eyes and think she's beautiful, she will be. In my mind,
Yeah, that's right.
I won't even need a paper bag.
That's right.
But the same thing with legs. I don't think you can beat squats. I mean, squats are one of the best things to build a quads.
Yeah.
And then the extension machines are all different.
All of them are. They
Yeah.
all feel different.
They all feel different. There's one in the gym that's my favorite because it doesn't hurt, but there's other ones that hurt a little bit more. I don't know if they're more effective, but with this knee I had, I can't do it. I can do it, but not as well. Leg curls is the same way. Leg curl machines are all different.
Yeah. Well, the original Golds, there wasn't really leg extensions, leg curls. I think there was that square, almost like a box.
It was like a
almost.
table.
Yeah.
And Joe made it. It was you could do leg curls on there and you could leg extensions on there, and you just put the weights on underneath. Or I think he had it selectorized, and then he was one of the first I'd seen with the seated calf machine.
Wow.
But we did donkeys.
Yeah.
There would be two guys on our back, and people today, kids like, that's gay. Why are you guys doing that? It worked the calves.
Yeah, and it's real free weight.
It's free weight. Here's the best way to do that. You get a block, you lean on a table, you get two guys to sit on your back. And you do as many reps as you can. Then one guy jumps off the back and you finish off with the one guy. He jumps off and you finish off just for some free reps, and your calves will be screaming.
Yeah. Because you have to stabilize it. So you have to
do that
balance
too.
it.
That's right. But it works.
Yeah.
You know, years ago, if you didn't have a lot of weights, we'd work out with a towel.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
Yeah,
People
I've
don't
seen it.
understand. I mean, you can do tricep extensions and you can pulls, all that stuff with a towel with a partner. And it was okay.
No.
Then they switched to bands. They had the bands come out and springs with the handles, which I took on the road wrestling, which worked pretty good.
No.
But when I got back down to weights, it's finding gyms around the country when I was wrestling was not too difficult, and I found some good stuff.
No.
Well, I want to thank. Well, by the way, where can people reach you?
My Instagram is the best place. It's golden_age_bodybuilding.
Okay.
Oh.
You got Facebook?
I do have a Facebook. The handle for that one is Martin Athletics 16.
Cool. I'm going to put that on here so people can reach you. I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you so
My
much.
battery's running a little low. I don't know why. What's happening? It's going quick. It's kind of like my heart. But thank you so much for coming over, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Rick. I enjoy being here.
I'm sorry you had to drive this far.
No, not a problem.
All right. Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner, and we'll see you next time. Be sure and catch me on Facebook Live, too. Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interests as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.